see if it, there we go. Hello, howdy, everybody. Hopefully, everyone's having a nice, good old Tuesday. I gotta mute myself across all these platforms because I don't want to hear my voice. Um, what? What does this mean? There we go. God, that's delayed to hell. All right, cool. All right. Sorry, setting up. It's not even gonna be a long stream. It's gonna be a really chill, mellow one today. I'm more or less just coming on. Still trying to figure out the scheduling for my Tuesday. I really am like saying, I'm trying to make this good and regular without making it uh too difficult for myself. Oh my gosh, can game like let me there we go. Whoa, Schizo, you're still welcome on in. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Sorry, I'm still getting set up over here. I'm trying to do everything I can to. All right, perfect. How you doing, Schizo? Wait, why can't I hear it? Spiraling but doing better. Been chatting with my best friend because I low-key been losing it mentally. I hope you're doing all right. Damn, that doesn't sound good at all. It sounds kind of scary. Not gonna lie. But glad you're glad you're doing better. I hope you're doing better. Damn, dude. Like, yeah, for real. Because earlier you seem to have been doing all right. Oh no, bots. Bots in my kick chat. I'm calm if that helps. All right, that's good. As long as you're not being like, no, no. As long as you're calm, calm is good. It's better than the alternative. Because once you start going manic, that's really freaking hell to manage. Trust. I have seen in person what happens when someone's manic and it's just, yeah, yeah. I'll leave it at that. I won't go too hard. But I'm glad you're doing better. I'll leave it at that. I'll take the W. You can take that W. I'll take that W with you. Let's close that and close this. I was a little manic, but I'm calm. Yeah, see, as long as you're calm, that's the key there. Because if you struggle in kind of getting centered and you're spiraling when you're manic, it doesn't help anything. But I'm kind of preaching to the choir here at this point. You know all about that. You know all about that. And I've seen it myself. And it's no fault of your own. It's just kind of like, it's the crappy part of being a human being. You got stuff you're gonna deal with, and everyone has their own issues. Some people deal with it in uh some people deal with it in very unhealthy ways where I've known people who self-medicate via drinking alcohol or they just get addicted to something, and there's other people who just ignore it completely and their life is a freaking mess over it. It's like no matter what, there's some people who seemingly have it together because it seems like they have everything. But then once you get to know them, you're friends with them, they're cool and all that, but they like never have a day's peace. And I know people like that in my own personal life who really struggle to to have that moment where they can just sit and relax and kind of allow themselves to have a moment of quiet. Like it's impossible for them. And it's like they have their own issues that they just really ignore. Normally I act out in person, but that was before my meds. Now on my meds, so I've gotten somewhat better at controlling myself, I guess. If you're not having episodes and you're actually feeling a lot more grounded, then yeah, absolutely, I'd say that's a W. You know, and again, there's some people where At least you did the responsible thing and you went out to look for help. There's there's a lot of people who don't do that and they choose to try and handle it themselves and they just end up being that drunk at the bar or they're at home just drinking wine all day. Like there's some people who just legit cannot get their shit together. They are just trashed out all the time and it's messed up. I'm not trying to like come off like, oh yeah, medical prof. No. I'm telling y'all, like I see this happen. I have friends whose lives are hell because they refuse to get help. Chatting with my best friend has helped. He's a real one, but he's the only one that knows me long enough to know how to reason with me, etc. That's good. At least you have someone. There's some people who don't even have that one friend. Some people legit never uh, some people legit just don't have friends like that. Some people just, like I said, self-medicate. Like schizo, it sucks being in that position to begin with, but at least you have people in your life who are there for you. There are people in your life who can help you who can help you stay together. Not, every now and then you'll need that one homie that kind of tells you to keep your shit right, but in those instances, it's kind of like, well, what you gonna do? Oh well. You either listen to the homie or you're just gonna go off and do what you want in the end. And in the short time I've known you, you don't seem like the kind of person who would like ignore a good friend. You really seem like a legitimate you seem like you'd legitimate if you reached out, you want to reach out because you want some help or you want someone there to be in your corner. You're not just going to reach out and kind of like blow them off because nah, if you were that kind of person, I mean, I doubt many people would want to, many people would want to be around anybody like that. Sure, hubby is there, but he has work in less than an hour. I wasn't about to tweak out on bro early in the morning. No, yeah, yeah. Friggin' it's gotta. Have you slept yet? Have you been up all night again, Schizo? Have you been up all night again? This is like what, all nighter number what? Be real. You ain't gotta be shy here. I'm a night owl myself. I'm not gonna lie. Shh, I don't know what you're talking about. Come on. All right. You know what? Okay. There's no shaming in chat right. There's no shame right here. It's legit just one of those things where, do what you want. Be at peace with everything. Who am I? I'm just a lowly bear. Let me move my guy over here more toward the center. There we go. He's chilling now. He's just having himself a good old time. Yeah. I'm going to bed at 5 a.m. lately. It's 7 a.m. right now. So latest I've been up. It's 7 a.m.? Wait, it's 9. You're 10 hours ahead of me. Yo, that's hard. Yeah. Doing that for how many nights in a row? Like 3, 4, something around there? That's gotta be like, yeah, that's gotta be rough stuff. Yeah, I hope you have good coffee at least waiting for you. Or if not, you can at least sleep in until like, you know, 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Look, well, actually, hang on, wait. If you're balancing out with a good amount of sleep, I think you're all right. If at least you're going to bed at like 8 and you're up at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, I think you're all right. Plus, you said it's been hot lately, so I mean, shoot, at least it gives you a break from the middle of the day when it's balls hot. That was last week for me. Well, I mean, it's relative, but out here, yeah, what was it? It's been raining the past few days. Damn, that sounds even worse. Why would you want to, be awake when it's raining? That just sounds terrible. I wouldn't want to be up when it's raining. But then again, my ass works out in the rain, and that's no fun in itself. It just kind of is what it is. You like the rain? Do you get a lot of green in your area when it rains? Like really? I fall asleep to rain ASMR actually. All right, low key, I actually do listen to ASMR when I fall asleep. I'm not even kidding. It's so calming and relaxing to me. It helps me just like knock right the hell out. So I completely understand where you're coming from with the rain ASMR. Hey Ruby, welcome on in. I hope you're having a good day. Even for a Tuesday, it can be a good day on a Tuesday, but it's your Wednesday now, so you're closer to the weekend than the rest of us. Congratulations. You get a cookie. Ruby's the only one in chat who gets a cookie. Nobody else. No, but like ASMR is just so calming and soothing to me. Because if I don't listen to it, it legit my brain just goes burr all day long if I don't like listen to ASMR or I'm listening to something. My brain just continues at 100 miles an hour. Where I am, it's very green between mountains and stuff. Oh, so the rain just makes it prettier, huh? I'm so excited for my weekend to start. Ruby, I hope you have a bomb ass weekend around the corner. Seriously. Didn't you say you had a concert that you were getting ready to go to here soon? Is it that one? Are you going to a concert? Bro. Spill the tea, girl. Tell it. For real. Oh, rip. Ad's gonna start in like 20 seconds, and I have no more snoozes. I freaking hate Twitch. Seriously. If there was some way for me to just be like, alright, I'm just gonna, like, whatever. Twitch, get wrecked. Breaking up things. Twitch ad's my favorite. Hey, at least it's not in the middle of a good Sumeru storyline, am I right? That was great last time. There. Do not get me started. Ruby, what's the worst that happened? You're still pissed about that. No, for real, that was messed up. It was cooking. So the Sumeru story was cooking so good. You had Lesser Lord Kushnali, and they're talking to Greater Lord Rudravaka, freaking dead ass in the middle of it. Ruby's there in chat, and she sees an ad's about to start. Your favorite part of the entire story. The freaking game story is finally hitting like a high point in the whole damn thing. Will you have it, Sumeru? I'm done with Sumeru. That's the thing. All right, real quick. Sumeru took me like 3 weeks, because I've what's the word? It took me 3 weeks because I was only streaming twice a week, and dear Lord, the freaking chatting parts in the story to Genshin Impact go forever. The ads, bro. It's ending here shortly. I'll stick with the ISTG. I never understood what ISTG is. Welcome back, everybody. Ads suck. Okay, so yeah, no, anyway. What happens is that Ruby's there. She's seeing the part where Lesser Lord Kushanali is talking to Greater Lord Rudra. It's getting to like the super emotional scene, and bam, right in the middle of it, an ad hits, and it just breaks up the flow completely for Ruby. And Ruby comes back and she's just freaking giga pissed about the whole damn thing. It was the funniest crap ever seeing her just crash the hell out in chat. It was fucking wild. Oh my gosh. And I did beat Sumeru. Sumeru took me like 3 weeks. The reason why Sumeru took me 3 weeks is because I was only streaming twice a week. And Sumeru's story is like a 20, 30, it's got to be like 20, 30 hours of them just talking. I'm not even kidding. If anyone has like an actual breakdown on how long Sumeru actually is, please tell me because I swear that thing is like 30 plus hours of them talking just dialogue. I finished it in less than a week. Yeah, but I wasn't playing the story in stream. I only played it in stream. So I had it broken up in 3 weeks of me just streaming pure Sumeru story. And some parts were cool, don't get me wrong. And there were other parts that were just straight up dull. And it sucked how dull Sumeru got at some points. And it was literally just a bunch of exposition where the characters are talking and there's very little happening on screen. I wasn't streaming at that point to be fair. Yeah, no, if I would have been playing it by myself, I would have had that thing done in like less than a week for sure. Same time frame. And like I have no complaints about the Sumeru plotline. My only complaint was just so much exposition when it came to all the characters. And I'm just like, why? Why does everyone need to talk? Why do I need to learn about this brand new character who's barely getting introduced at the end part of the story like I give a damn? I swear All Hatham and his homie, they're not homies. They're not roommates like All Hatham says. They're more than that, you know. They're talking a little something something when they shouldn't be, you know what I mean? You should explore the entire desert. Eventually I'll get there. Um Honestly, there's probably a hell of a lot for me to do in the desert, and I could probably use them right now because I do need primo gems. I want to get Columbina so bad. She's like, mwah. I've seen her character and everything. She's perfect waifu material there in Genshin Impact. I quit when I finished Sumeru though. I don't play Genshin anymore and never will. I don't blame you. After Sumeru was like the peak of Genshin Impact. Everyone and their mother wants Columbina. But I have my own reasons why I want Columbina. I legit need a good Hydro unit, and Columbina is that Hydro unit. Like, if I didn't need Columbina, I'd probably be skipping her. I actually did try and go for Varessa, because honestly, like, you know, if you look at Varessa, there's no way that you're not gonna want to get Varessa. She's Varessa. Anyone in chat, anyone and everyone watching stream right now who's seen Varessa in Genshin Impact knows they want Varessa. You can't convince me otherwise. She's like tippy top tier, freaking, perfect, adorable waifu. I play Honkai Star Rail instead, though. I have the peak comp there. Oh, there you go. But then you're just playing another Hoyo game at that point, you know? And, you know, I mean, Hoyo games just go burr, I guess, at certain points. Like, um, I actually ended up doing the opposite of you. I quit Honkai Star Rail. I just couldn't keep up with it anymore. The meta just got so freaking crazy for me, and I just opted to stick to Genshin Impact on my end anyway. But if you're enjoying, Honkai Star Rail, more power to you. I just got pissed off because after they released Acheron, the power scaling in Honkai Star Rail went off the charts. Castories, Pink Jesus, Remembrance, main character. I see. Nice. I like Varessa, but not enough to pull for her. Look, thick thighs save lives. Varessa is the thick thighs that Genshin has always needed, but never deserved. And I'll say that right now. Genshin doesn't deserve Varessa. Okay? For any Genshin legit does not deserve Varessa. Alright? They deserve Arlecchino. They deserve Nachos, they don't deserve Varessa. Varessa is too premium for what Genshin Impact is. I do like the cat-looking character from Natlin. Oh, you're talking about Shilonen. Yeah, no, I love Shilonen. Shilonen's actually really good. She's fun as hell. And it's really cool. Whenever you look at her idol animation, she's just like chilling, doing a little DJ thing in the middle of nothing. But that is such facts, but Raiden is good enough for me. Yo, for real talk, Raiden is so disrespected in Genshin Impact. Everyone says, "Oh, if Raiden isn't C2, Raiden's not good enough." It's like, what more do you want out of Raiden? What 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 gets on my nerves a little bit is how people will look at characters like Raiden, and because they don't see big giant number damage, immediately she must be bad because she's not doing, 2-3 million per hit. I mean, it's an exaggeration on my end for sure. But we've got Raiden Shogun, who I pair up with Arlecchino, and I've paired her up also with Nachos, Navia, and they freaking cook. Like, holy crap, there ain't much that can stand up to a team like that. And I've heard the complaints where people are like, oh, but it blows them away because you get the explosion element, the explosion thing. Bro, that is like ridiculous damage that you do there. Most things won't survive a hit from that. Most things are dead, so you're not chasing much of anything at that point. And right now in Fontaine, whatever you hit with the fire electro combo, it just incinerates them immediately, and nothing gets blown away because everything's too damn heavy to get blown away. Columbina X nachos are amazing together. Man, I can't wait to try that vaporized team. It's gonna be so good. Honkai Star Rail story has been asked since Penacony, but the characters are nice. Only reason I play is because I have better luck on the game when I want a character. Yeah, no, for real. If you're having more fun with Honkai Star Rail, play it more. For real. I quit after Penacony. And the reason why I quit after Penacony is because I I did not like the Penacony story. I saw what they were trying to do. To me, it was just pure butt cheeks. It felt like Sumeru. What's the word? It felt like Sumeru, but not on steroids. It was very watered down by comparison. And bro, I mainly quit Genshin because I lost on Kokomi twice. Ooh, I know that one. I definitely know that pain. Literally, one of the gachas I play is called Fate Grand Order, and we got Mommy Tiamat in there. Oh my gosh, she's so freaking fire. And I wanted her. I saved up for her. I had like a bunch of multis for her. Never got her. I ended up like barely touching the game for like 6 months. I was so freaking pissed about it. Not gonna lie. But then I got her, and then I'm playing the game again. That game more than made up for it. It gave me Tiamat, and then I got me a nice other fancy 5 star, and I got me a nice fancy 4 star, and now I just gotta save for like the next 3 years in hopes that I actually get the what's her name? Uh, Olga Marie. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, Olga Marie in Fate Grand Order. She's coming out in like 2 years or something. She's gonna be stupid, crazy, busted. I'm freaking looking forward to that. The only good thing I got out of Penacony character banner set is my boy Aventurine. Mind you, I rarely and barely, but I'm glad you love Aventurine. I hope you got a lot out of him, cause that is Aventurine. Aventurine, he's one of the ones in Penacony, that's for sure. His backstory touched me. Look, look, I get it. There's many. I hated his cocky ass at first, but his backstory, I cried. I appreciate that. Started off as a slave. He kept gambling his way out of to freedom, kinda. Um, Aventurine just he didn't hit it with me, and yeah, he had a hard life growing up for sure. I have to ask my daily question. All right, what's your daily question? What was what's happening? Do you like Farina? No, no, still no. I don't like her. She's not good. I do not like Farina yet. I still gotta play more Genshin Story to be honest. The only thing that pisses me off is I can't play Genshin Story on stream. It takes too damn long. Literally, if I wanted to do like 10 minutes of Genshin Story, I couldn't. I couldn't because the second I hit a cutscene, that's like an hour and a half. You know the Yoshi gif where he comes at you with a mallet? That's you. That's so violent, but valid. That's valid. I'll take it. I know my opinion's unpopular. Farina's not the character for me though. No, no. You know who's the character for me in Genshin Impact though? That's oh god, I think it's Navia. The Sumeru Archon. 'Cause seriously, come on. How No, no, not Navia. Navia gosh, what am I thinking? Ah, I swear I'm gonna end up remembering it like at the worst possible time as soon as I find it. And it's just gonna tick me off. Nahida. Yes, Nahida. And oh damn. I see already I failed. I failed. No, I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, Nahida, she is like the best well-written character in Genshin Impact to me. As far as the Archons go, all the other ones I'm just kind of like eh. Because the first one you run into is Venti. Venti's pretty meh. He's not really all that passionate about much of anything. He's just like freedom, everybody deserves to be free. And the moment he tried to reveal himself to his people, everybody just blew him off and like, you're just some crazy drunk asshole bard. Get away, dude. So that dude was just useless. And then you got what was it Zhong Li in Leeway? In Leeway, Zhong Li was just like, yeah, I'm rich. I'm super rich. I didn't want to fight the Fatui because it just didn't interest me, and I just gave them what they wanted. The thing you guys were fighting for this whole time, not with me. Then you got to Inazuma. Look, Signora, she got bitch got what she deserved in Inazuma. All right. I don't like the fact that they made Nahida basically lose her form to a state of child. I don't know why it's a theme with Hoyo. Just just be me though. I dislike it. Controversial opinion. No, it see the thing is it's not a controversial take, and there is good lore reason why Nahida is the way she is. The way I remember it is that she's not a new icon archon. What she is basically almost like she's the same archon, but starting from she's a sprout basically. So she's kind of growing into her own as she comes up throughout time in there. Do I like it? Eh. But I really like the character of Nahida. She's very sweet. She's a very genuine character. She does her best to help the party the best that she can. She's not, she's not like fixated on in any inappropriate way. Blame the fan base though, because Hoyo fans, if you ever go on Hoyo forums and you come across Hoyo fans, some of them are like crazy ass rabid for their favorite character. A little unhealthy, I think, but you know what? They're passionate. Do I like it? I think they're kind of sus every now and then. Zhongli is an old man. He deserves a break. I literally cannot stand other Genshin fans because of that. Yeah, yeah. It like I have no issues with the way Genshin handles some of the characters. There's a few characters where I'm just kind of like, they were done a little dirty. Like one character I think doesn't, who kind of really hasn't had their good time in the sun is Venti. Venti was, I think they wanted to make him a joke character. The problem with Venti though is that they they really leaned into the whole Mondstadt is the city of freedom. And for that, the people didn't care about their Archon. And the second the Archon reveals himself, they're just kind of like, "You're a drunk bard. Get the hell out of here." They did Alloy dirty. Changed my mind. Really, Alloy wasn't around long enough to for anyone to remember her. I Whenever I show off my account to anybody that actually asks about it and they see Alloy and they're like, "You have the rarest character in Genshin." I'm like, "I do?" I didn't even I don't when I pulled her, I had no idea that that was the only time she was ever gonna be there. Alloy, I mean, she was the what crossover character for Horizon. I think Venti is going to be more important later on in the story. Well, let's hope you're right. Yo, what's up, Hope? Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. Howdy, howdy. I'm literally on Genshin right now, and I came to this. We're talking Genshin right now. We're talking everything Genshin right now. I'm kind of going through the story a little bit as far as what I've experienced. Last part I left off on was how Signora was kind of. I don't like Signora's character. The fan base loved her because she's hot, and I was just happy when I saw Raiden Shogun handle her. She manhandled her in the best way possible, and I laughed my ass off when I saw it. She is, but she's so useless. Why I say they did her dirty and basically forgotten. Yeah, yeah. But she was a crossover character. I mean, in that sense, like Honkai Star Rail did similarly with Fate Stay Night, where they did that. They did Fate Stay Night crossover so shit. I went in there, I played some of it, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't play the whole way through. I got in there, I got a copy of Archer, and that was it. I couldn't do it. Though, and then I got pissed off because they didn't bother taking the Japanese VAs and porting them over to the English side. So we only have voice acting on the Japanese side of the game, except English. And I like playing the game in English. Yeah, but they didn't forget or power creep the Fate characters. They're still really new though. That's the thing. I like the Fate Stay Night characters were what, like 4 months ago? 3, 4 months ago? It hasn't been that long, and I know Artoria or Saber. They don't call her Artoria. Saber in game is like still really, really OP. Is she the strongest? I don't know if she is at this point because of what's his name, Phanon or something. I'm more on standby for the Plan Arcadia patch now. Yeah, I heard that patch got pushed back and people got really upset about it. She isn't the strongest. Isn't that it's the destruction they don't call them harbingers. What is it they call them again? Uh, yeah, but she is all right. Yeah, no, see that's a problem though. Like it hasn't been like 6 months since her release, and already she's already starting to like fall a little behind. No, it shouldn't be that way. Honestly, like I said, the one game I still enjoy playing because more the difficulty scale than anything is Fate Grand Order. Fate Grand Order, I think they handle the mechanics for boss fights and challenge quests really well there. Where as long as you have a good unit in Fate Grand Order that can take advantage of a boss's like weakness or exploits, you can get through just about anything and everything. Like there is, in truth, in Fate Grand Order, there is no unit that is 100% worthless. There are some units that are really crappy, but there is no unit in game that's like worthless that you'll never touch. I was a bit sad about Saber not having any English voice lines, but I am so used to playing her voiceless, it's okay. Yeah, and her English VA, I'm not even sure if they ever reached out to her. Because I think in the Japanese dub, they actually brought back the Japanese voices for those characters. It's a theme with Honkai Star Rail why pulling for supports is prio over DPS. Oh, absolutely. Like the two supports that I pulled for in Honkai Star Rail that I never regretted was Hu Tao and Fu Xuan. I still love those units. They're still my favorite support units in game. Fu Xuan especially over Hu Tao. You, like Hu Tao was just so crazy good when she came out, and then you had Fu Xuan, who just literally could buff or who could literally let your team survive anything and everything. Fu Xuan was like the ultimate tank in Honkai Star Rail. You don't have those? No, I don't either anymore. Like I said, I gave my account away. I hope the person I gave it to, I really hope she's enjoying it. Because break isn't meta. No, yeah, I ever since they'd was it wasn't Yume Ren. Was it Yume Ren who was supposed to be like double breaking it? The English VA declined voicing Saber, if I remember correctly. She should have been replaced. Fire her ass, blacklist her from the voice acting community. She doesn't deserve a spot. Ever. It is possible that you really got burned up for Honkai to the point you also left. That's why I didn't bother. So, Hope, what happened with me and Honkai Star Rail is I just didn't like the Penacony story. I the biggest issue I had with the Penacony story was how they dealt with Sunday and the lead up to Sunday. Because when we got to Sunday, we got to see everything he did, and we got to see how much of a bastard he was. Like Sunday was very unrepentant with all his actions in Honkai Star Rail and Penacony. He was completely dead set on making sure that he brought the world of Penacony under his control to the point where he was starting to actually embody. I forget which oh, dagnabbit. I wish I could remember the names. I wish I could remember what the heck they were called. It's been that long since I last played. But he was beginning to embody basically the trail that he was taking on. So you'd go through this entire quest to stop him, and then it's like not even a week later, Sunday starts rolling and goes, I'm really sorry about everything I did. I thought about things. Yes, it was the Trail of Harmony. He begins to embody that. Trailblazer takes on the Trail of Harmony as well. Or no, Imagination. The imaginary Trail Blaze. But after you kick Sunday's ass and beat him down, all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe that Sunday had a moment of reflection. He realized what he was doing was bad. He wanted to be a better person, and he gave up his evil ways, simply to just be like, I want to have a new beginning somewhere else. Can you guys please help me? By the way, the entire Pentagon arc was a dream and never happened. That's the other thing. None of it really mattered. The only part that kind of got you was Sunday was willing to entrap everybody on Penacony. He was going to let no one leave, and anyone that entered the planet of Penacony was going to be stuck there moving forward if Sunday got his way. So Sunday does all that. He's a straight up bastard. He then turns out like, I'm sorry. The Trailblazers, they're just like, no, you're an asshole. And he goes, I'm sorry, I was an asshole. And Trailblazers like, are you gonna stop being an asshole? And he goes, yeah, I'll stop being an asshole. And then everybody's like, all right, cool. You can come with us if you want to. And bam, all of a sudden he's with the Trailblazers. Now he wants to trailblaze that. I think she declined because Hoyo doesn't support unions or something like that. I'm gonna research that. Uh, I I don't know the exact thing, but I think Hoyo likes to operate where the way I remember it is that they won't allow unions, but you can basically go in and contract with them. So you can negotiate your pay and everything before you ever voice a character for Honkai for any Hoyo game. But that's something that I know the voice actors for Hoyo were really advocating for a while there, but I mean, in all honesty, Hoyo just contracts out to these other voice acting studios to get these people to work, and Hoyo still pays them. I have to look into it more, but it's been a while since I last followed up with it, much of it, because the one person who really brought up a giant shitstorm for Hoyo was the voice actors for Paimon, the old VA for Paimon. They shouldn't have let the writer from Honkai Impact 3 write the story for Honkai Star Rail from Penacony, honestly. Yeah, Honkai Impact, the writer is more of Alicia Simp than all Alicia Simps. Pink Jesus. Damn. Yeah, no. Plus the pacing of Honkai Impact is much different than Honkai Star Rail. I mean, you're going from an action game to a turn-based RPG game that is not fast-paced. It's supposed to be slow, yet Penacony felt like it was trying to go beat, 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 and it just wasn't working for it ever. They replaced them with a veteran voice actress. They replaced Paimon with a veteran voice actress. He copy pasted the story from Honkai Impact 3 into Honkai Star Rail, which was like, hello, bro, hello. WTF happened to Trailblazing. Honestly, like, okay, another opinion I have is that Hoyo needs to focus on either one or two gotchas they have. They need to drop Honkai Impact. They need to focus more on Genshin. They need to focus way the hell more on Honkai Star Rail. They should drop ZZZ, and they need to stop trying to develop new gotcha games. Like, Hoyo Games is going to freaking run themselves so thin, all their gotchas are going to start suffering soon. They are really trying to spread them. They're trying to branch out into many more games. They're gonna kill themselves at this rate. You mean to say you never gave a Morpheus a chance at all after the Sunday? No, I couldn't. I don't even know who a Morpheus is. All I know is that when Sunday started coming around and he's like trying to join the Trailblazers and the Trailblazers like, yeah, sure. I couldn't do it. I should have stayed at Herta Space Station. For real. Oh my gosh. Honestly, the opening to Honkai Star Rail is probably like one of the best in gacha gaming. Not gonna lie. The fact that you get that Dragon of Destruction there at the end and you just wreck his ass with the Trailblazer. And then it gets to a point where we get to see kind of Welt do a little bit of a flex and he just drops the Trailblazer with a cane to the forehead. It's like, yeah, okay. We know who Big Daddy is in Honkai Star Rail. It's Welt. So you never really went to a Morpheus at all? No, once I finished Penacony, the new update hadn't come out yet. All we had was just the Sunday story, and then I went back for the Fate Stay Night crossover, and that didn't last long. I think the Fate Stay Night crossover I did for like 2 or 3 days. I never finished it. I had zero interest in finishing much of anything after after Penacony. It hope I mean it when I say it really did kill a lot of my motivation for Honkai Star Rail. I think about going back every now and then, and if I did, like, I don't know how seriously I could take it, because even though I have a fairly decent roster, having Archer, I have Yume Ren, uh, Fire Trailblazer is still really good. I would love to pick up Himiko again. God, okay, okay. If I ever go back to Honkai Star Rail, Himiko is gonna be like my number one priority. Like 100%, I'm gonna want Himiko. Sealy, she had her time in the sun, she was good. But Himiko would be like my entire focus. And once I get her, I think I just drop Honkai Star Rail. Like, not gonna lie. Like yeah, yeah, yeah. Himiko's just so freaking good. I always knew she was good. It's like, damn, she's mm. What Himiko is to Honkai Star Rail, Veressa is to Genshin Impact. You just can't have the game without her. Yeah, Mavwika is a poor stand-in for Himiko over there in Genshin Impact side. Hot take. No wonder. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, just Honkai Star Rail. It's just rough stuff. Morpheus is literally worth over a year of story. So if you ever do return to Honkai Star Rail, have fun. Good thing there is a skip button. LMFAO. Okay, I'll say this right now on stream. If I drop Genshin Impact for whatever reason, if I drop Genshin Impact, I will pick up Honkai Star Rail and I will stream Honkai Star Rail. I think I'm still like in the middle of Eurillo 6 on the new account. I wish I liked Honkai Star Rail better. The times I've logged back in, I am reminded how much I really don't like it. That's part of the issues that I have with it too. Like, if if they had kept Bronya relevant and HP inflation wasn't as big of a problem as it is in Honkai Star Rail, I'd probably still be playing it. Because the HP inflation, when you go from the Lawfu to Penacony, HP inflation is clearly evident. Monsters there have ridiculous amounts of HP. The way the Lawfu handled it, where you'd have enemies that resurrect once in the middle of a fight, I thought was fantastic. I thought it was a great way to extend a fight without making it feel tedious. But then you hit Penacony, and you have regular monsters that are literally just gonna one shot your ass. And it's not like I didn't have characters built that time I was first playing it. And like I legit went through and like I had characters built. Like my Sela was super decked out. I had Himiko who had like really great equipment, and yet it felt like I could barely make a dent on most of those monsters. I like Honkai Star Rail, but right now I only like combat and the side content. Yeah, and the only thing I'd really have going for me when it comes to Honkai Star Rail is I'd have everything before Penacony. Just about everything before Penacony. As far as it comes to like the end game stuff, the quote unquote end game, um, I don't think I'd ever touch it, to be honest. Main story, I don't care unless they surprise me with something original and not copy pasted. The if if Honkai Star Rail, if it didn't try and borrow off beats from other gacha games that Hoyo has, they'd do much better, easily. They would do way the hell better. I think that's part of their problem too. Because you look at Genshin Impact, the way it handled the Sumeru story, and then I looked at Honkai Star Rail, the way they did the Penacony story, and the two were running pretty closely with like themes and everything they were trying to do, and it just wasn't working for Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail just completely drops the ball by Penacony, and like if I'll have to look who wrote Penacony, but if it is, it's just like it's trashier. No, absolutely, Ruby. Sumeru is clearly better than Penacony. It's not even close. Nahida is a far more likable character than any of the other characters. No, 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 no. Hang on. Nahida is a great character in Sumeru. Penacony's strongest character is Acheron. Like literally, she hits the beats that Penacony did not have at all. Acheron literally carried Penacony on her back. If it wasn't for her, it would have been trashed here. Penacony is a joke. Sumeru is better. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say it again. Like it's not even close. Penacony is just like I see what they were going for, but it wasn't great. Acheron is the goat of absolutely. Like you end up learning about Acheron, her role in the whole thing, why she is, what her motivations are for being on Penacony, and you're just like, holy crap! Like she, even though she's carrying out her duty, she's suffering for it completely, and she sticks true to it the whole way through. Granted, by the end of Penacony, you kind of see her regain a little humanity, but you know it's only temporary. Like you can't help but feel bad for Acheron throughout the whole beat. The Penacony story honestly had so much potential, and it was just way too much of an info dump. Yeah, the exposition for Penacony was just was crazy, and the ending of the story was not great in my opinion. Well, here's the other thing about Penacony that was a problem is that you had so many characters in there who had no business being there. If they would have held off on what's her name? She has that festival mask, Hibari or Hanabi or something like that. If they had held her off for later on for the next area or whatever, she would have been fine. And then we had Sampo come back. Like, why is Sampo back? I did like the animated video they put out with Black Swan and Acheron. I have to go back and find it. Hanabi. I think that was her name. Hang on, let me look this up real quick. Real quick. Characters released in Penacony. So characters released in Penacony Honkai Star. Let's see. Which characters were released? So we had Aventurine. Himiko's always been there. Sparkle. That's her name. Oh, and Misha. What a tragic character in Misha. I completely forgot about his ass. Yeah, you're right, Hope. Yeah, that's the character I was thinking of. Like, why was Sparkle there to cause chaos? She's the Mask of the Fools, and all of a sudden Sampo's not available, so we need a Mask of the Fools character. Like they could have. Oh, okay. I'll tell you this. Oh yeah, here's a surprise for you. Sparkle, the new character coming, Sparksy, is the same character. No shit. No wonder. Yo, Hoyo's keeping it OG original. 100%. Am I right? Like, Ho- Hoyo needs to find a different beat when it comes to how they make these characters or how they run these characters. Oh, and we are getting reskin Silver Wolf. I saw that. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I almost want to come back for Silver Wolf alone. Like, she's fire. She's 100% fire. You're starting to hate it here, LMFAO. Look, I'm as much a Silver Wolf simp as anyone else. I'm sorry, okay? But Silver Wolf is so fire. Like she's the only character I really like out of the hunters, the Stellaron hunters. She's the only one I like. I'm sorry. She's a gamer, but she's such a badass. I love yeah. I think everyone can agree that Silverwolf is like universally loved and appreciated. She's actually a good character. I don't like Sparkle. Okay. What was the she's the only nerdy and real one in the entire. Absolutely, no one comes close. Maybe the MC, but that's only because you're playing as the MC. But okay, let me tell you what the problem is with what Genshin tried doing with Sparkle, at least from my perspective, and the way they treat it. Okay, so think of the Joker for the Batman villain, the Joker. Anytime the Joker shows up, we know it's gonna be freaking insane. We know the Joker's gonna have some insane ass plot where he's gonna like put everyone at risk, right? That's what the Mask of the Fools are to me. They're supposed to be like this absolutely insane, deranged group of who walk that path, and they're supposed to be the ones who cause chaos because they kind of live in nihility in a way, but they're not nihilistic. They did cook with Sparkle's trailer. I practiced voice acting that. Well, I mean, all their trailers are fire. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no, Honkai Star Rail trailers suck. No, they're all great. I think the trailers for Honkai Star Rail are all really damn good. But my big issue with the Mask of the Fools is that they're used poorly. When they bring in the Mask of the Fools, I want to see them like have some insane ass plot. I don't want to see the Mask of the Fools brought in every 2 minutes and nothing happens. Because that's what we've had. Sampo, we eventually learn, is one of them. Now Sparkle's one of them. If I see a Mask of the Fool, I want to see pure chaos. I just couldn't really tolerate either Sampo and Sparkle. Mask Fools may be my most annoying faction, and that's what they become. They're not supposed to be annoying. Anyways, I gotta go. My friend wants to play Phasmo, and I need the bathroom desperado. All right, you have a good one, Schizo. If you can't, try and get some sleep at some point today. At least get like a power nap. Do yourself that favor, or get caffeine. Lots of caffeine. Anyway, take care. I'll talk to you later. But the faction of the masked fools, they shouldn't be annoying. They should be like a driving force in there. Just like when you see the Joker show up in nope. Bye, Schizo. Just like when you see the Joker show up in DC Comics or in a movie, you know it's going to be chaotic. That is what the masked fools should be. Whenever you see them show up, you know it should be pure chaos. What we get though is like very annoying moments with them where they're not really contributing to the story, they're not really taking away anything from the story. They're just there being filler, and I don't want that. I don't want filler out of a faction that should be pure chaos. The masked fools should be that portion in the story where I'm just like sitting on edge. Are they chaotic? Yes. But that's it. They're just an annoying, chaotic moment. Well, Sparkle really hit in China. Great for China. I don't see it. Because if you're annoyed by them, how many other people are annoyed by them? They're literally just filler at this point. They shouldn't be filler. The character okay, hang on. Well, let me rephrase this. The characters that Hoyo has are all really popular characters, but the story that the characters are are bad. A lot of the time in the Hoyo games, and I wish it wasn't the case, but that is just what it is. Like for the first year that Hoyo was running, I thought they paced very well. We had a little power creep, we had moments, but if you had like the next latest and greatest support, you really weren't going to fall behind or hurt in Honkai Star Rail. Well, then we ended up getting, you know, a powered up ass unit in Jing Yuan, and everybody loved Jing Yuan. Like the dude could hit like a freaking truck, and he had follow up attacks coming out the ass. Like that was our kind of like our first introduction into power creep. But it wasn't so much that Sela had really fallen behind either. And then we ended up getting Acheron in Penacony, and she just completely blew power scaling out of the water in Honkai Star Rail. And it was so bad that we actually saw HP inflation hit so hard in Honkai Star Rail. Penacony was just set up for Acheron. Sela couldn't really do her one-shot damage anymore. Supports, if you didn't have Hu Tao and Fu Xuan, you were gonna hurt like crazy. And I mean, Fire MC was just completely useless in Penacony. Fire MC was good in, at the end of Euro 6, okay, he was good all the way through the Lafu. Penacony just completely useless. The dude wasn't worth his weight in digital currency, whatever. He was so freaking bad the whole way through, and he was never given another opportunity to really shine. We had to get a whole new Path of the Trailblaze for him to take on, for him to be viable again. And even then, it was kind of like, oh well, he's better than he was before. Because even now, I think what's the new path they have in the story after Penacony for the MC right now in Honkai Star Rail. Let's see, what paths does he have unlocked at this point? Honkai Star Rail. Uh, Come on, I hit my spacebar. Main character. What Trailblazers does he have open to him right now? Yeah, it says the Trailblazer, but come on, give me a list. Remembrance, that's the path that he had. So right now we have the Remembrance MC. Last I remember, he was actually considered really damn good. And I just don't know what else he's I don't know what his relevance is as far as, content goes in the story. Is he good? Is he not good? Like, and the again, like, the pace that they go, like, he's only going to be viable for like what, 3 4 months, and everyone excuses it with, well, it's a gotcha game. There's other gotcha games that I play, they're not that bad. Like, yeah, you have power scaling to a degree, but they're not like atrocious like Honkai Star Rail. As much as I'm finding your words regarding Honkai Star generally unfortunate but understandable, this is going to be a difficult pill for me to swallow. Well, here's my thing. If you're enjoying Honkai Star Rail, enjoy Honkai Star Rail. I'm merely expressing the issues that I see with it, and it's not a game I'm blocking out forever. This is a game that I'm just gonna have to approach far more slowly than before. Like like I said, I've only played up to Penacony. If they fix the issues by the next story, then there's more incentive for me to play and actually try and get to that part of the story. I just have to play through Penacony all over again, which admittedly I'm not looking forward to. But if you're having fun with it, have your fun with it. Don't. I'm not going to dissuade you of doing that. Like, there's no reason for you to hear what I'm saying and think, oh, well, maybe I should stop playing. No, no, no. Have fun. If that's your jam, more power to you. There's people I know who don't like Genshin Impact at all because they think Genshin Impact is just as bad. I mean, that's their opinion on the matter. And honestly, opinion shouldn't be one of those things that, like, an opinion, opinion's just that, an opinion. It's neither right nor wrong. It's merely someone's viewpoint on a matter. Like, you have facts, you have opinions, and then there's everything in between. And, it's just my own observations from what I've seen and what I've experienced with Honkai Star Rail. I just wish that Hoyo would look at what they have and just focus on something or two things, because I branching out and wanting to create that Pokemon style game. They're still running Honkai Impact third, and I think that has like the smallest player base among Hoyo games. And then they've got, what's another old gotcha that's still being run by them? They got rid of Gun Girl Z. Oh, no, 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 not no him. They've got the Pokemon game, Honkai Impact third. They got Honkai Star Rail. Oh, and Zenless Zone Zero. That's the other one. Like, too many games to run. Yeah, I know Hoyo's a big company, but even a big company can be run thin. Like Hoyo games are beautiful. The newer ones are all really gorgeous. I think Genshin Impact looks stunning, especially the newer areas. Honkai Star Rail, beautiful game if you look at it. And then you look at Zenless Zone Zero, that game is fire the way it's stylized. But there's so much manpower behind it. Like, they must have dozens of teams running these games, and if they start falling short in one area, they have to pull from somewhere else and bring them to the other game. So if Genshin Impact all of a sudden starts to hurt, well, they're going to have to start pulling people that are working on Honkai Star Rail. They're going to have to pull people running on Zenless Zone Zero and people running Honkai Impact Third and put them in Genshin Impact. And same if Honkai Star Rail starts to hurt, they got to pull others from there to Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero and these other ones. They're not focused enough on quality. They're just too focused on quantity, and it's becoming really evident in the way the games are being handled right now. These guys just need to, Hoyoverse just needs to sit down and kind of look where they need to trim the fat in some things. Yes, Hope. Oh gosh, don't tell me I've been muted this whole time. This is gonna be crazy. No, I'm still good. Okay. My voice is still good. Hold on. And Okay. All right. I'm good. I'm good. I'll have to explain what I learned so far in Discord if I could. Yeah, feel free. Hit me up anytime on Discord. I always read every message you send me. If I can reply, I'd try. Not here since we're trying to chill. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, how long have I been live for? An hour. I've been live for over an hour so far. Yeah. All right. Well, I try and keep my Tuesdays short, but I had fun talking, gotcha games and all this other stuff. Really, I'm enjoying the whole I'm enjoying just chatting. If I can even mix it in with a little bit of gaming in the future as I continue this, like that'll be freaking great. But we'll see. But for now, I think I am gonna have to call it here. I do have work tomorrow morning, so I'm not looking forward to that. And I just hope y'all have a good rest of your night. I'll be back at this tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll start tomorrow. I might start around 5 or 6. And yeah, we'll just resume where we last left off. But again, like I said, if you're having fun with Hoyoverse games and gotcha games, don't let my opinion dissuade you from enjoying the games you play. As I said, this is only my own observations and my opinions on the matter. If you like what you're playing, continue playing it. If you don't, take into consideration what I talked about and what, chat brought up too. Like, I'm completely not opposed to coming back to these gotcha games in the future. It's just right now they're kind of hitting a dead spot for me, and it's just not fun for me personally. But if you like the end game stuff, you like doing all that other jazz, you like the challenge of it all, more power to you. In fact, if you can't like share, like I'm on X. I have a Discord actually. I also have a hold up. Please tell me I've messed up. Twitter, YouTube, Discord. I do have my Discord. Is that still good or is it just gone to hell? Invite invalid. Damn. All right, hold on. Maybe I'll just post the link over here on Twitch right now because why not? Just while I'm live, last 5 minutes. Okay, so that's my Discord link. If you'd like to join, please feel free to join. At least here on Twitch. And maybe I'll put it up on Kick too. Hold up. Get blocked. Blocked bot. Yeah, there we go. Make sure accept all over there. Okay. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for me. Um, but yeah, I mean, you want to continue the discussion, you kind of keep going. Feel free to join my Discord link. Let me know when you're in. Say hi, and I'll make sure I give you a role so that we can have a nice chat. Still, it's pretty chill. It's pretty small. There's not much going on over there, but when it gets lit up, it's fun. But like I said, that'll be it for me. I'll be back at this tomorrow. I'm just changing up my stream schedule Monday through Thursday. Uh, Times will vary, but I'll always be streaming later on in the evening, uh, to late night. You too, Ruby. You have a good night. I'll catch everybody later. I wish you all well and see you mañana. Laters.